My name is Ethan Miles. I'm 28 years old and live in Harrison Heights, a small town where everyone thinks they know everyone else's business. Life is fairly ordinary for me, nothing too thrilling, but I generally enjoy my peaceful routine. I work at a local bookstore where I can lose myself in stories and share my love for reading with others. I have always been the quiet type, preferring the company of books over noisy parties. I care deeply and can easily connect with the emotions of others, which has sometimes led me into tricky situations. Things began to turn wildly upside down when my ex-boyfriend, Jake, who was in the Army, re-entered my life as his deployment loomed closer. We had broken up months prior, but as the date approached, our conversations started to deepen and become flirtatious again. We exchanged calls, texts, and emails almost daily, and it felt like old times. I found joy in reconnecting with him, clouded by the nostalgia of memories we had shared, believing perhaps love was sparking back into existence. But little did I know, the feelings I cherished would soon shatter into a pile of betrayal. A few days before Jake was set to leave, I drove to his mother's home to leave a small gift. I had kept good terms with her while we were together, and I thought a nice gesture would show appreciation for the past. As I arrived, I noticed a new car parked in the driveway. It stood out because it had an unusual decoration written on the back window that read, "Just married. Congrats, Jake and Lily." My heart sank, a pit of confusion replacing the fluttering emotions I felt just moments before. I had been led to believe that it was just the two of us, even to the extent that he had seemed unbothered about any other relationship when we spoke. Just a few days after that shocking realization, I received a letter from Jake's mother. The words tore through me like jagged glass. She accused me of trying to ruin her son's life and then called me a whore for sleeping with him before marriage. The irony was insufferable, reminding me of countless moments she had told me about her own rushed wedding due to her unexpected pregnancy. I felt rage burning inside me, not just from the accusation but from having been blindsided. Jake had led me on, and I realized that I could not let this lie prevail. My plan was set in motion. I decided the truth needed to be seen. I would not allow Jake or his mother to continue living in their fabricated world. I gathered every incriminating bit of proof I could find. Our conversations, shared secrets, and flirty messages all documented on my computer. Each screenshot brought back memories of what felt like love, but they now served as tools of vengeance. My mind formulated a wicked idea. The new wife, Lily, deserved to know the truth about her cheating husband. I printed out every email, text, and phone record, compiling a dossier that revealed Jake's deception. I simply could not let him carry on with his new life without consequences. I chose to send two letters, one to Lily, exposing the man she thought she loved, and the other to Jake's mother. The letter to Lily was stern yet clear, filled with undeniable proof of Jake's split affections. The letter to his mother was more vicious. I reminded her of her own transgressions while pointing out just how poorly she had navigated this situation. I sent those letters to their home with an express delivery, hoping they would open them immediately. I then fired off a short email to Jake that simply said, "You are dead to me." My heart raced with the thrill of my revenge. I was determined to watch their lives unravel, and I could hardly contain my glee as I imagined the chaos those letters would cause. Back then, email security was not as strict as it is today. Jake had used my laptop many times when we were together, giving me just enough access to slip back into his world. I logged into his email, eager to see how the destruction was unfolding. Within a day, I received my answer. Lily had read my letter, and she was furious. I could hardly contain my laughter when I found out that during their honeymoon, Jake had left her alone to get ice while he called me. The chaos unfolded like a perfectly plotted novel, each email showcasing his attempts to talk his way out of the mess. In the days that followed, Jake's scrambled attempts to explain himself revealed his desperation. He emailed back and forth with Lily, trying to put the pieces together, but the trust was gone. I watched as he devolved into panic, his emails dripping with guilt and confusion. His mother joined the fray, sending him angry messages about how she was now obliged to deal with the repercussions of his actions under her own roof. Watching from the sidelines, I felt an odd sense of victory. Months went by with Jake struggling to repair his relationship with Lily and defend himself against his mother's wrath. Though I never learned if they ultimately divorced, I savored the notion that the consequences of deceit were coming back to haunt him. It was satisfying to know he could not handle the storm he created. I finally moved on, embracing my simple life in Harrison Heights once more. Because of that chaos, I grew into a more confident version of myself. I learned how to value honesty, not just in relationships but within me. I realized then that sometimes justice would be served not by the hand of law but the heart of someone scorned. They say karma has its way, but sometimes it just needs a little nudge, and I was the one who gave it that push. Chef's kiss, as far as I was concerned, I had not only settled the score, I had taken my narrative back.